Welcome to the second round of the NIT. We're in Columbus, Ohio at Value City Arena for the Florida Gators and the Ohio State Buckeyes. This is part of the Monmouth bracket. This is a 2 versus 3 matchup. And we're in Columbus because they're working on the O Center in Gainesville, so the Gators are on the road for the length of the NIT. The winner of this game will play the winner of Monmouth GW. That'll be tomorrow night on ESPN at 7 o'clock. With Dan Dockich, I'm Dave Lamont, and Florida gets to the second round by being uncharacteristically sharp from 3.
Well, uncharacteristically of any team. They were 16 of 32, and you see the ball movement right there. Look, they made 12 threes in the first half. The reason they did it, they went inside, out. They had 23 assists for the entire basketball game, and you have to do that against Ohio State as well. Just like North Florida, you got to move the basketball.
12 in the first half, most since 2001. In fact, Mike White a little concerned. It's one of those, yeah, we hit 16 threes, but wait a minute, we're not that good at it.
I call it water finds its level eventually. They're about a 32% three-point shooting team. Smart people call falling to the mean, I think is what it is. Those are the smart guys. I just say water finds its level. Be careful. You may be due for a 2 for 20 now.
Couple of changes now for these two teams. John Egbunu out for Mike White Florida Gators. He had hand surgery on the 18th. That was planned, and we'll tell you more about that as the game goes on. Gators are in the white, Ohio State in their red, and we're underway. And Ohio State will not have Keita Bates-Diop again as he is struggling with an illness. Take a look at the lineup for Ohio State.
You know, one of the things without Diop, Williams, number 15, had 18 against Akron. He's an explosive, quick scorer. And this guy right here, Loving, is really good.
Ohio State played pretty much 7 people. That was it. As Mitchell on the drive, and he misses, and Florida gets the rebound. And underneath, the key player is going to be Kavaris Hayes, number 13. Keep an eye on him. So he takes over the center position for Egbunu. Just a big body inside that Florida will not have today.
Yeah, and he's being replaced by a real skinny body. Long, but skinny.
Robinson, that's a 3. Chipped off the front rim, rebound OSU. Ball, that misses. Both teams were practicing dunking in warm-ups. Maybe they should have practiced 3-pointers. Off the glass, that all the way down and came back out. Hayes with the rebound on the putback, and Florida scores first.
Well, that's pretty good by Hayes. You want to get off to a pretty good start. You want to get off to a great start if you can. Hayes had 4 points, a couple assists against North Florida. Pretty good start.
Another 3 ball in the air. That rims out with a rebound for Devin Robinson, who's got a couple early. That's Casey Hill. There's a 3 ball, and the Gators go back to form with Dorian Finney-Smith.
People think of Finney-Smith as a rebounder, kind of a strong guy, guards the best up front guy, but he can shoot the basketball, and that was way deep. That was from Thad Matta's shoes.
Loving. He had the big game in the opener for Ohio State, and a very pesky Akron team out of the MAC. Took him to overtime. Thompson, I don't think he knew that pass was coming.
Well, he should have, because when you screen for Jaquan Lyle, he's going to find you if you're open. He's an unselfish kid that has tremendous vision. You're right, Thompson had no idea it was coming. And Lyle, good for him, was barking at him.
Thompson was wide open at the rack as well. And Ohio State with a steal, tipped away by Thompson, who makes up for it by causing a turnover. 3 from the corner. And Hill colliding with Thompson, giving up much size, height and weight, and it'll belong to Thad Matta's Buckeyes. 8-0, 6-0, pardon me, under Matta at home in the NIT is Ohio State.
Yeah, and he's one of the great coaches in America. You know, this is a young team. There's no seniors. They're going to be very good next year, and I think this is a perfect tournament right now for them to play. You know, they're playing good teams, playing at home, keep practicing. Really would help them next year.
If they want to keep playing at home, they got to win and hope George Washington beats them out because Allen goes the distance off the steal, and Florida out to a 7-0 start.
You know, Dave, it's interesting. You get a 6'7" kid, and a lot of times people think it's a matchup when a smaller guy like Allen gets on you. But Allen did a great job. He just got underneath Loving and took it from him. Sometimes a smaller guy, much harder for a 6'7" kid to play against.
So we'll see where Ohio State turns for points. They go inside. There's the execution again, and it rolls off. So Ohio State stays quiet. Finney-Smith leads the break for Florida. Ohio State's missed their first 5. Hill has contact, and our first whistle of the game from our crew of Carl Hess, Brent Hampton, and Matt Potter.
He's underneath right here, Allen is. He just goes down, reaches in, and gets it. And sometimes Mark Loving plays a little bit too upright, so a smaller guy on him, not a bad idea.
Thompson, first of the game. Contested shot, and with a hand in his face, Finney Smith makes the two.
You have to watch the ball. You could just watch how Finney Smith released it, then backed up knowing it was in.
And a timeout called for by the Buckeyes with 16-18 to go. Not a bad idea with a 9-0 start for the Florida Gators, and Dorian Finney-Smith getting off to a quick one for Florida. A fast start for the Florida Gators. Sometimes this game of basketball was very easy. Ohio State's 0 for 5. That's why they're behind by 9. The Gators have hit 4 out of 6, and Dorian Finney-Smith off to a rapid start for Florida.
And sometimes, as Run DMC was just saying, it's tricky,
It
baby.
is tricky.
Hey, look, Dorian Finney-Smith, you don't have to watch the ball. You can just watch how he backs up when he shoots. And this is deep. He just knocks it in. Knew he made it. Dorian Finney-Smith is a truly, truly great basketball player. He can shoot it. He's tough. He's willing. He's off to a good start. Ohio State can't get it over the front of the rim so far.
Both teams shorthanded. Dana Bates-Diop out again for Ohio State with an illness, and John Ogunu out after hand surgery. He'll be rehabbing for 4 to 6 months as Jaquan Lyle gets him on the board.
Dave, that was the toughest shot they had. I mean, they've had good looks. As I said, they being Ohio State, have not been able to get the ball over the front of the rim, and that time Lyle did.
Whistle and a foul on Ohio State. That will be on Lyle, his first. Casey Hill with a headband. Neither team's going to go terribly deep in their bench today. That looked like a travel by Robinson, and Allen will roll the 3 in. Crowd a little bit unhappy there. That's 5 for Allen.
That was arguably the most obvious walk that we've seen all year. You got 3 guys out there, 6 eyes.
Yeah, you're right, 6.
Yeah. Math major. I like the way Florida has come out here, though, defensively as much as anything. Look at that.
Almost stolen by Finney-Smith, and he forced Lyle to play that one all the way into the backcourt in front of the Ohio State bench. Well, tonight, the women's NCAA tournament continues, presented by Capital One. Kansas State at South Carolina on ESPN at 7 o'clock. And Auburn versus the other #1 seed, Baylor. That'll be on ESPN 2.
Hey, may I say something? Tyra Buss and the Indiana University Women Hoosiers won their first NCAA tournament game since 1983. Hadn't been in the tournament since 2002. Congratulations.
That's a shot clock violation. Well, it wasn't a bad day for IU overall, was it?
No. I only revert back to being a former player at Indiana when they played Kentucky and Purdue.
Okay.
And usually, you're trying to be unbiased. But I'm home. My daughter goes to IU. And I got to tell you, as a former IU player, that was a heck of a day yesterday.
It was a wonderful game, too. Rejection. Allen is sent back by Daniel Giddens. Giddens is a tremendous shot blocker, 6th in the Big Ten.
Hey, this is a skill. A lot of people think just because you're tall, you block shots. Daniel Giddens has real timing.
That's timing. As Allen off the inbounds play, and an easy bucket for Florida. 7 for Allen, and this is an early hole for Ohio State to have to dig out of.
Cam Williams, Dave, just had his back to. So much the NIT is about who wants to be here, and right now Ohio State looks like they have really not a lot of interest in being here. Florida, great interest.
Ooh, Lyle with a tough shot off the glass. He had a triple-double earlier this season against Rutgers, just the 5th in Buckeyes history.
Yeah, Lyle looks like he wants to be here. But everybody else, nobody's really down in the stands. No one's keeping the ball in front of them right here, right to the lane.
But Hill dribbling through traffic and gets the bounce off the rim. A friendly one for him, and it maintains the Florida 12-point lead.
And I got to tell you, from Ohio State perspective, Dave, that's ridiculous. And Thad Matta never or rarely, you can always tell when Thad's mad. He walks to the end of the bench. Usually he stands there, supports players. He walked all the way down, mumbled something, and then came on back. That's just no energy, no effort by Ohio State.
Well, you talk about who wants to be here. I've always judged bowl games that way, too. There are always a few bowl games during the football season where there's one team that's really eager and happy, and the other's like, do we really have to do this? Let me have my gift card, and I'll get out of here.
Yeah, and I think Florida really wants to be here. I think Florida is playing much harder, much more in tune. Their help side's better, much crisper.
And Hill tried to thread the needle. The pass intercepted. They'll try again. Williams is a great three-point shooter out there, but Loving grabs the rebound. Williams flashes and scores, and he'll get a chance to make the three-point play.
Yeah, good for Williams. I mean, you said it, Dave. He's a terrific three-point shooter, and that's what he does, but he didn't stop. Rebound, he cuts. You see him cut. He doesn't stand. He doesn't watch. He doesn't sit behind the three-point line. He stays active, cuts to the rim, and gets a heck of a pass from Loving. Maybe that'll get this entire place going.
And a little bit of an issue here for Florida as Dorian Finney-Smith was slow to get up and limped to the bench. So he will come out of the game. Chris Chioza, number 11, is in for Florida. This is the Florida team missing John Egbuno. Finney-Smith is a key. There was a possibility of him being at the 5 at some time today if there had been foul trouble on Hayes. Now, that hasn't happened yet.
This is a good move. I'm sorry, Dave. Yeah. This is a good move by Thad Ma to pick up three-quarter court. Not necessarily to get anything out of it, but to get his team energized and moving around a little bit.
Leon is the one who came in for Finney-Smith. Lyle taps and steals. Ohio State with a break. 5 on 4. Leon late to get back. Now he's back and almost stole the pass. Williams, he'll drive it. And Leon takes down the rebound. That was a good look. Chioza running the point now. We'll go underneath. This is Hayes getting a big chance today with Egbuno out. Back to Chioza. Robinson was pleading for the ball. Rimmed out on a good-looking three. And we're going to have a foul. Really not that necessary a foul on Leon.
Well, you were right. Robinson was screaming for the ball, and it just got to him a little bit late. You could tell he wanted to catch it on time, in time, and didn't get there.
So Skylar Rimmer will come into the game, and he is the backup center today with Keveris Hayes checking out. Rimmer transferred from Stanford in the 2014-2015 season. Open three. Finally one falls for Ohio State. That's going to be ruled a 2. Take that back. It looked like a 3, but the officials call it a 2.
Yeah, that was great action. Thad Matta decided once again, I got to get my team moving. So what he did was he crossed Loving underneath with Cam Williams. Defense got lost.
Defense got lost again,
yes,
this time by the Buckeyes.
Yes, they did. Yeah, Mark Loving got caught staring at the ball. Offensive player went underneath him.
Lyle, and that pass was deflected by Florida. Yes, it did go off the hands of the Gators. We'll take a break. Florida right now rolling along offensively, while Ohio State still struggling to find the hoop.
Brought to you by TD Ameritrade and the Scion IA and IM. Premium standard features that actually come standard.
The 2007, these two universities met for the National Basketball Championship, and Florida won that one, 84-75. Dan, Al Horford, Torian Green. That was a very talented Florida team.
Yeah, both teams really talented. You had Greg Oden out there. Mike Conley's out there.
Corey Brewer on that Florida team. Joakim Noah was around for that one. Billy Donovan now in the NBA. You do get a banner for being national runner-up. ACU Final Four in 2012 in New Orleans. And also, and I know the Buckeye fans are not going to be pleased with us, but we can't undo history. That was also a big year for Chris Leak, who was the quarterback that year for Urban Meyer's Florida Gators. So that was quite a stretch with both schools.
Yeah, Urban Meyer could have rang up 70 on Ohio State that day. It was really a national championship where you call off the dogs in about the third quarter. Remember, it started with a Ted Ginn run back for a touchdown.
That's right. 3 ball, chip the front of the rim, rebound for Casey Hill. Ohio State, 4 of 14 shooting. Florida, 8 of 13. Another turnover by the Gators. Thompson hit ahead pass to Lyle, and he'll wisely, because all he saw were white shirts there. And he'll get a kiss. And Jaquan Lyle now beginning to get going. He's got 6.
He has a tremendous touch, and he has a tremendous upside. He's got to get himself in better shape, got to understand how to involve teammates earlier in possessions. But, man, oh, man, does he have a lot of game.
Ohio State was ready for that screen. Chioza breaks in the middle, wide open, and Chioza with a scoop.
I'm telling you, Ohio State has not kept the ball in front. Chioza took advantage of Harris right there. Casey Hill has been going wherever he wants to go with the basketball. Ohio State's got to shore that up.
Loving. Perfect shot on the 3 for the junior from Toledo. He's got 5.
I'm telling you, Mark Loving can be the player of the year in the Big Ten next year. But he's got to extend himself a little bit. Got to get himself a little more emotionally invested to help his teammates, but he is that kind of talent.
Well, he had a big game in the victory over Akron. Finney Smith, and again the middle opened up, but Thompson was there to grab the rebound.
Yeah, he's not going to win the Defensive Player of the Year award next year, but he could.
That doesn't get much consideration. And a whistle, and no, it's a turnover by the Buckeyes as Mickey Mitchell stepped out of bounds, wiping out a pretty pass and a dunk. Second round action of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship continues today on CBS, TBS, TNT, and True TV. For more information on tournament game times and listings, just go to ncaa.com. A spectacular start to the tournament.
You know, I was in Brooklyn watching Stephen F. Austin dismantle West Virginia. And I got to tell you, Stephen F. Austin is for real. I mean, people that haven't seen this walk-up kid, my goodness, does he play? He handles everything on the court. Handles his teammates off the court. I mean, true leader. Fun.
Knocked out of bounds by Hill. I wasn't terribly shocked about that because Brett Underwood has done spectacularly well over there. And his name already starting to bubble up for so-called bigger jobs. The Travis Ford letting go at Oklahoma State being one of them. But I don't know what Brett Underwood's going to do. Right now, he can't worry about that.
No.
He's got business today.
No, but I'll tell you what. If you were an athletic director and you watched that game against West Virginia, you would have no qualms hiring Brad Underwood. I mean, they just at the end of the game made West Virginia quit.
And to shoot. Wow, trying to go to Thompson, instead goes by the defense, or tried to, and Hayes gets the rebound. Florida wants to run, but Chioza, middle open yet again. He'll dish Hill. He'll drive on Thompson. Spectacular shot, Casey Hill.
Oh. Man, they're just going faster, playing 2 point guards, Florida is, Chioza and Hill, pushing the tempo, making Ohio State recovery, poor recovery by Mitchell, and a fantastic finish.
Loving, however, Ohio State will go 3 for 2 for the rest of the day and be happy about it. Loving with back-to-back trades.
Well, Loving is just so offensively gifted. I mean, he sees the floor, but defensively, this entire Ohio State team.
That's Dan Marley range there from Finney Smith. Marley could make it. Finney Smith did not.
Oh, the heck with the Steph Curry references. We're going Dan Marley here. A little shot fake right past the entire defense. Look, Florida's done a great job playing inside out, and if you don't recover short, low, and in a stance like Mickey Mitchell does not, Casey Hill's going to get by you, and then the finish around Thompson, nothing short of spectacular.
Well, Steph Curry gets all the puck.
I
Let's
agree.
throw it back to the MAC and the great Chippewa, Dan Marley.
Sure, and doing a great job at Grand Canyon.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, they're a good team.
See Florida dominating the points in the paint. This is a 3 from Mitchell. That bricked off the window.
He hit his first one of the year against Akron. I figured, why not?
I'll tell you something else. This building is kind of quiet. Even though it's only a 5-point game. Students are on spring break, too. Ohio State almost stole it. Now 10 to shoot. Mata playing a little defense that time. We're going to get a foul on Ohio State.
How nice is this? We can't show this enough because it is truly spectacular. Casey Hill, about 6 feet tall, goes around Mitchell. Here comes Thompson. No. Underneath with a little kiss.
Are you allowed to say that?
You think I am? No? Well, you better find this guy, Mark Loving. Mark Loving is the kind of talent, the kind of rare talent that can play anywhere on the floor, has sense, long and athletic, and he has pretty much carried Ohio State to at least get back into this game. 8 points in 12 minutes, not bad. 2 for 2 from the three-point line, but Ohio State has to get the ball figured out. They have not guarded the basketball. The sea has parted right down the middle too often with that modest crew.
Fighting for the rebound, and Hill will come out with it. Allen, contested three, rimmed out. Williams got a hand in his face, and the Gators get the rebound with Robinson. So Hill will get it back, and they'll start anew. Good fronting defense that time by Cam Williams.
Cam Williams is really little. Like, you know, you come to games and sometimes you see guys and, wow, they're way bigger than I thought. Cam Williams is way smaller. He did a heck of a job fighting the play. That's much better than Ohio State. That's what Ohio State had not been doing, Dave, and that's shut down the middle. Finally, they got after the ball and forced a jump ball.
Gators get under the possession error. Williams made his first start of the season in that NIT opener in that duel against Akron. And getting his second opportunity to start with Bates Diop out indefinitely with an illness.
You know, you think about Ohio State making this run without Jay-Sean Tate, without Keita Bates Diop. That's 2 of their best 3 or 4 players.
And the ball's going to stay with Florida with 9 to shoot. Florida goes side out of bounds in front of the Ohio State bench. Finney Smith. Off to a fast start for the Gators. It's Hill with 5 to shoot. Off to Hayes' screen. Inst among the bigs. Lefty hook, no good. Rebound Mitchell. Ohio State gets it back finally.
Yeah, much better defense. They stayed as best they could in front of Hill. Just didn't let it all open up. And Trevor Thompson, really good job.
Whistle away from the ball and an offensive foul on the Buckeyes. I think that's going to be Thompson's second personal. It is.
We have a flop alert. I'm not sure it was or it wasn't. Look underneath the screen. Let's see here. Thompson post. That's a flop.
Ooh, you know what? I agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, look, Thompson is kind of strong. I mean, he's not small by any means, but just a little push with the arm isn't going to send your heels up in the air. I guess if you can get away with it, good for you.
That sends Thompson to the bench with his second foul. So Ohio State missing some size in the middle. They'll turn to Daniel Giddens. And a nice flip by Hayes, and Florida went right inside.
They did. They brought Giddens up, set a ball screen, rolled Hayes. Easy bucket.
Hayes a key player for Florida today with a Buno out as he begins his recovery from hand surgery. That was scheduled. And a little flip there, no good. Rebound for the Gators. And almost deflected that time. Buno had injured his hand in practice right before the SEC tournament. And they determined that surgery was going to be necessary. And they targeted March 18th. No matter what was going to happen for the rest of the season, it was going to be then because it needed some time to heal before they operated. So they knew that the North Florida game was going to be his last game. Rejection off of Finney Smith by Giddens. That's his second block of the night. And it's going to be a foul against the Florida Gators on Hayes, his first. And that's third block, I am told now, by Giddens.
Giddens just has that ability. And again, blocking shots is not just because you're tall. There's a lot of tall guys can't block a shot. A lot of guys that can jump can't block a shot. But when you're tall and you can jump and you've got pretty good sense for shot blocking, it's kind of an inherent thing, and Giddens certainly has it.
Coming around the screen is Lyle. Williams under 6 with Florida up by 7. They have led from the start. And not a home rim break that time. Devin Robinson comes the other way for Florida and gets it off to Casey Hill. Well, the middle got closed that time. Leon, line drive 3 for Justin Leon. And the one-time JUCO All-American gives Florida a 10-point lead.
David, everything is from the middle of the court, and Ohio State's got to get that figured out. They're hedging sometimes and giving up buckets. They're not hedging, giving up 3. They got to figure this out. Either switch it, go under it.
That's the one thing they can't do. Robinson caught to that pass just in time. 5th Buckeyes turnover. Robinson heaves up his shot. I'm sure Florida wanted a foul. They're not getting it, and Williams leads it for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, bad shot by Robinson.
Giddens conduit of the offense here. He'll set the screen. Williams goes the other way with it, and the Tony Parker doesn't go, but Loving taps it in.
Yeah, Loving, again, just has complete sense. You have to get Loving off the backboard if you're Florida. When that shot went up by Cam Williams, everybody in white was looking at the ball. Nobody went to their man and checked, as the great Seth Greenberg would say.
Loving's got 10, and that's going to be a foul on Mitchell. He ran through the screen.
Yeah, you've got to put a body on Loving. You see, nobody put a body on him. And, I mean, everybody is looking at the ball. Kevontae Allen was right there, and Loving just went around him. Most important thing you can do if you're not a shot blocker or if you're not involved in the play is find a man, block him out.
That foul's the second on Mitchell, and he'll check out of the game. Got A.J. Harris out there guarding the ball right now. Now you talk about small. He's small.
Yeah, he's small. He gets in a great stance, but so far today, Casey Hill's gone around him every chance he gets.
Robinson missing on that big rebound by the little guy, Harris. Leads the break all the way. And a foul by Giddens. For the first time today, this crowd is inspired. Foul on Harris.
Man, that looked good to me, but I just sitting here courtside. Harris energizing the crowd. Big time rebound, and I mean a big time rebound right there with the left hand, and now right down the middle of the floor. Nobody stops the ball because nobody can catch up to him. Giddens ran with him, and Bigs run. Good things happen.
The presentation of the NIT is brought to you by Wendy's, proud sponsor of the 2016 John R. Wooden Award Men's Player of the Year.
The 2016 NCAA Women's Basketball Championship coverage continues. For more information about the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship, log on to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. Now, we're not trying to tell you to switch away from Dan and I, but if you'd like to watch on ESPN2, practically feet away from us, West Virginia's leading the Buckeyes early at the end of the first quarter, 21-15.
If I took UConn and gave you everybody else in the women's tournament,
I'd be mad at you.
Yeah, I know, right?
And those, you know, look, South Carolina's fantastic, and Dawn Staley's done an amazing job. Notre Dame as well. And meantime, some of the out-hustling that you talked about, Dan, just happened there with Justin Leon scooping everybody and putting Florida up by 8.
Yeah, 3 guys almost in a triangle for Ohio State. The thing they forgot to do is get the basketball.
It's been all Florida if you're just tuning in, and we're going to have a foul away from the ball against Ohio State.
Ball's going to hit the ground, which is what you want on block out. Nobody goes gets it. Leon beats everyone to the rim.
That foul on Giddens away from the ball. 7 on the Buckeyes. 6th turnover against Ohio State. A sluggish start for the Buckeyes, Dan. They have not yet been able to overcome it. And there's part of the problem right there. Chioza just marches right down High Street.
It was at times supposed to be a handoff, but Chioza just faked everybody out, kept it, didn't give it to Allen, and went to the rim. Ohio State really struggling with effort.
Lyle, step back, 3-ball, perfect. Jaquan Lyle with 9.
And Jaquan Lyle offensively, along with Mark Loving, are it, but defensively, there isn't a guy in Ohio State that's been able to keep the ball in front of him.
Allen trying to counter, no good. Tapped up, the rebound control underneath. Here come the Buckeyes, they want to run. Skip pass, Loving for 3. Oh, that rimmed out, that would have got this place going. Allen sees a lot of red around him, and he wisely withdraws, almost lost it on an off-balance throw to Chioza. Trying to go underneath, and it's stolen. Williams, one-on-one. Off the glass and good. And it's back to a 5-point Florida lead. Under 10 to shoot. Allen for three. Leon again. Giddens went for the big block, might have got a piece of it. Here comes Ohio State. 5 on 4 as Leon is slow to get up. Just now getting across the timeline as Williams gets the left-handed layup and good. 1:18 to go. Chioza might have taken a step back there. Under 10 to shoot, down to a minute to go and a half. Chioza trapped and fouled by Giddens. That'll be 2 on Giddens.
This is a great pass. In basketball, you got to see a play ahead. Right now, Loving knew when he got the ball exactly where Cam Williams was and just flipped it ahead. That's pretty good by Cam Williams. And now here, Cam Williams just a little back cut. It was 5 on 4. Leon was hurting for Florida on the other end. Referees chose not to stop it.
He's still holding the side of his head as he comes over to the bench. Now he took it off, but his left side, he was holding it.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Dave, I was a little shocked that when the ball stopped for Ohio State, the referees didn't stop playing and get Williams off, or get Leon off the court. I'm a little surprised by that.
Ohio State could tie this thing here. And that would be a miracle. They were down by 12 and looking very sluggish. Lyle will try it. Rebound, Ohio State. And they're within 1. 12 for Loving. Mike White wants a timeout. We will step aside as this place is alive with the Buckeyes down by only 1. At the half, I'll have highlights of Wagner versus Creighton. We'll talk about those NIT brackets and, of course, the NCAA. Sean Farnham and Chris Cotter. And this was 31-21, Dan, to the 3:01 mark. A 9-0 run for Thad Matta's Buckeyes.
Yeah, a lot of it was keyed by Cam Williams. Cam Williams has done a better job playing defense, as has A.J. Harris. And then they got out in transition. Ohio State struggled a little bit in half-court offense, but transition really good.
Well, one thing Ohio State has done defensively, they've shut that door that was wide open.
Yeah.
Because Florida was getting some crazily easy baskets.
Yeah, and we've been talking about A.J. Harris getting beat, but it's not only him, it's the help. No help was there. And Florida's gone away a little bit from playing in the middle of the floor.
They're going to have to hurry here. 7 to go, Hill. Allen, 4 to shoot. 3, 2. That might have counted. I'm not sure if that would have counted or not if Robinson had made it, but it doesn't matter. Ohio State sprints off the floor. Florida walks slowly. The difference in the momentum on that 9-0 Buckeyes run to end the half, but Florida has led all the way, and they maintain a 1-point edge going into the break. Fast start for Florida, fast finish for Ohio State. Second half coming up, but first, we'll send it to Chris and Sean in the studio. So the winner of this game moves on to round 3 on Wednesday, facing the winner of the Monmouth-George Washington game. And everything depends on who wins as to where that game will be. Monmouth controls their destiny as far as being the top seed in the bracket. So good one going on here, Florida and Ohio State. Maybe on Monday night when you watch the Monmouth-GW game, you'll see a play as spectacular as this one by Casey Hill. Gators by 1. We'll talk more about it when we come back. An exciting one here in the second round of the NIT at Value City Arena. The Gators have never trailed in this one, but at one point they had a 12-point lead. Ohio State finishing on a 9-0 run. Welcome back. Dan and Dave with you one more time. And Dan, this time it was L squared doing it for Ohio State because they were very sluggish in the beginning until Loving and Lyle got going.
Yeah, I don't think who you were talking about there. Then I got it. Lyle and Loving were absolutely terrific. Mark Loving, who I think could be the player of the year next year in the Big Ten if he gets it going, was really good. And defensively is where the entire team struggled for a while. Jaquan Lyle was the guy who got him going. They couldn't score early, and then he made a couple of these to get Ohio State on the board. It's a one-point game, and the difference truly is going to come down between Lyle and Loving making shots and whether Ohio State can jam up the middle and take away
Take a look at what Loving and Lyle have done in the first half, brought to you by Principal Financial, where progress is possible.
I love the way Florida came out. Defensively, they were fantastic for the first 12 minutes. Ohio State was only 7 of 19. Then in the last 8 minutes, 6 of 12. So Ohio State got it going a little bit in transition.
So will Ohio State with the ball here get a lead? Thompson trying to clear some space underneath. And not yet. Florida playing without John Igbuno. He's recovering from hand surgery, not with the team. Keita Bates-Diop not available again due to illness for the Buckeyes. Hill on the drive. Beautiful dish, and waiting for it was Hayes, and he gets the layup.
Yeah, that was really good. Casey Hill has played a very good game. He's going anywhere he wants on the court, whether it's down the middle. You saw that time on the baseline. He's a guy that sat for a while. Big-time recruit. He got beat there, but
he stripped it away from Mitchell, though. Mitchell brought the ball down to the shorter level where Hayes is at.
Yeah, Casey Hill's had really good.
Excuse me, where Hill is at. And Hill is getting an assist on the give and go, and Hayes will retrieve it.
You've got to keep the ball out of the middle of the floor, whether it's on the baseline, top of the key. If you're Ohio State, they've done a bad job of it, and Casey Hill's been spectacular.
Yeah, if you're just sitting down and wondering why Florida has been ahead the entire game, it's that kind of offense or bad Ohio State defense that has led to Florida being in charge. Hill again on the give and go. That one's going to go almost into the stands, and it's out of bounds, belonging to the Buckeyes.
Well, you've got to be able to play the middle of the floor. You're going to see Casey Hill here, the middle of the floor right here. Watch what transpires. There's going to be a little ball screen, and then simple roll, and by Casey Hill bringing the ball over his head, he made Trevor Thompson jump. Pass fake high, what do? You throw it low. Pass fake low, what do? You throw it high. Pretty simple.
Lyle, Mitchell underneath. Blocked by Florida. Allen got a piece of that. Hill leads it. He doesn't have the numbers. He'll withdraw.
2 games in a row we've had Mickey Mitchell in Ohio State. 2 games in a row. Mickey Mitchell has had great opportunities around the rim and hasn't been either tough enough or finesse enough to get it in.
Finney Smith, ball kept alive. Mitchell will get this one. Hit ahead pass to Thompson. Thompson fumbling it, saved it, but right to the Florida Gators. So another slow start. This is how Ohio State came out of the dressing room to start the game. Hill with a dish, knocked out of bounds. Took a while for that to get out of bounds. It'll belong to Florida.
I don't blame. Dan Mata's going to do a good thing here. He's going to get Mickey Mitchell out, and he's going to bring in A.J. Harris. So they're going to play a little smaller. Cam Williams, Lyle, and A.J. Harris. That's the lineup that was more effective, along with Giddens inside in the last 8 minutes of the game, or first half, excuse me.
Hill. And a little whistle here. Let's see. This is going to be on Florida.
That's a good call. Casey Hill, when he found Loving coming up into him on the right side, hooked. And that's about as easy a call as a referee can have. You're going to see a hook. Watch his left hand right there. That is easy. That's not just for the post player. That's also for guards and ball handlers.
So Harris is a 5'9" freshman from Dayton. That shot, or pass, I should say, blocked by the Gators, and Hayes has played well. Here's Hill against Harris, and Harris can't do much against that. Hill had it.
Hey, Lyle did exactly the opposite. Lyle looked up, raised the ball up, and threw up. Equals a
so
turn.
to speak.
Yeah, right. right. Made his coach throw up.
Fairmont didn't do the walk down the end of the bench. Here's an alley, but no oop. Giddens working very hard to try to create an opening. He'll get a chance perhaps to go to the line. We'll see if this is a shooting or a floor foul. And he will go to the line. That'll be 2 on Devin Robinson, the sophomore from Chesterfield, Virginia. There's Fairmont, seated for the moment. But he's put in a few steps going back and forth in that bench. I was thinking, without even looking at a box, man, we didn't have a lot of free throws in the first half. We had 2.
You know, that's because there's not a lot of inside, a lot of penetration, find the next guy, penetrate. You know, think about the bigs in this game in 07 when we showed the clips. You had Joakim Noah, Al Horford, Greg Oden.
Yeah.
Think about the bigs in this game. What a difference.
Boy, the collision there, and hopefully everybody's okay. The replay monitor took a hit. Excellent effort from both players, Robinson and Giddens. Take a look at this again. Trying to save the pass. And it will be Florida ball. Giddens will check out of the game, and into the game, David Bell making his first appearance, number 10, a redshirt freshman from Garfield Heights. He's going to bring some height, but not a lot of weight, 6'10", 214.
Yeah, they took David Bell as a project, and this is what David Bell does. He can play pick-and-roll basketball defense pretty well, not much offensively.
Robinson into the middle, and he gets the roll around on the rim.
How many times have we said it? Middle of the lane. Florida has exploited Ohio State, whether it's a high ball screen in the middle or whether it's driving from the wing to the middle. You let good players get in the middle, you got no chance defensively.
That's where Florida has just made hay all afternoon long. Opportunity here for Lyle. Eschews the three, goes inside, missed it. Tapped up, and Florida controls. They want to run. Hill, he's made good decisions all day. Oh my goodness, he missed that one. On the putback though, the effort by Keveris Hayes, and Florida has built up a 9-point lead. They were ahead by 1 at the half.
Yeah, Keveris Hayes just hustled. Jaquan Lyle missed a shot and never even bothered to get back. He didn't even come close to half court.
See the run the Gators are on. They're outscoring Ohio State 2-1 points in the paint. Hayes with 10 points. That's a key player for Florida today with Egbunu out, and he has played great. Hit ahead, Hill.
Same thing here. Jaquan Lyle is the guy back. Jaquan Lyle gives no effort. I don't know what to tell you if you're Thad Mott. He's going to get a timeout. And you've got to understand your player. Maybe Jaquan Lyle can't handle being yelled at. I don't know, but my goodness, you at least have to give a little bit of an effort if you're Jaquan Lyle.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NIT is brought to you by Acura. Precision crafted performance.
Florida started the game 9-0. This half, Dan, they're up 12-2 in the half.
Yeah, it's 0 for 4 with 4 turnovers from Ohio State. And the worst thing about it is there's really been no hustle from Ohio State to get back in transition. You're going to see okay, you miss. Now, who's sprinting back? Who's stopping the basketball? The answer is nobody. And you see the foul right there, and you only see 4 Ohio State players because the 5th one decided it wasn't worth his effort to sprint back.
So how does Ohio State recover from falling behind by double digits again?
Well, they've got to get the ball out and down for faster and Loving right there. Every shot that Ohio State's taken has been soft, and this kid's just blown by.
Hill just destroyed the defense that time. Nobody was anywhere near his speed. And this is the largest lead for Florida. Lyle gets around the defense, and a beautiful shot by Lyle with the left hand.
He's got all that. He's got absolutely all that. It's this end and hustling and keeping his head up when things don't go right. And what hurts Jaquan Lyle. But look, in his defense, Jaquan Lyle never really been coached before this year. I mean, he went to high school where the coach enabled him, went to a prep school that was designed strictly for basketball. So he's learning, and he'll get better.
Well, that was nearly an and one opportunity there for Hayes. And a foul will be on David Bell, his first, second on the team. Timeout. That Mott is not 100% sure about that call. He's also not 100% sure about his team's effort in this game.
You got that right.
And tonight at 9 o'clock, the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship presented by Capital One on ESPN. Tennessee against Arizona State on ESPN2. St. Bonaventure takes on Oregon State. Again, that's tonight at 9. Now, on ESPN2 and across the street at historic St. John's Arena, the Ohio State women's team up by 2 in the third quarter against West Virginia. And watching a little bit of that during the halftime break, and it's been a very competitive game. Stayed close the entire way.
This is the basketball capital of the United States over the weekend. We had got the women's tournament going. You got this. You got the Ohio High School State Championships. Congratulations to Westerville South. Westerville South with their first state championship. Jordan Humphrey hit a shot with 2.3 seconds to go. The Ohio State Championship, Dave, is a great tournament. I mean, tough ticket. 15,000, 16,000 in here. Great coaches, fantastic players, a lot of fun.
He's Dan Dockich. I'm Dave Lamont. Value City Arena, our home for the afternoon. And the Buckeyes have trailed the entire game.
John Glenn beat LeBron's team. St. Vincent, St. Mary.
Along the drive and through the defense. Daquan Lyle with 13.
There is, and this is not a compliment, there is a player, Jaquan Lyle, that is good enough to get you fired. Meaning he makes all of these type of plays, so your athletic director goes, man, he's really good, because he sees all these offensive type of plays, and then you watch film, and the hustle part of it, the being in the right spot on defense, is something he doesn't have quite yet.
And there's Leon. He had a lot of hustle plays for Florida. He was a key guy coming off the bench.
And he went right around Lyle to get the rebound. Yeah, I'm not really picking on a kid. I'm just trying to tell you the way the game goes. You see a kid play great, and you're like, well, why aren't they better? Well, you got to play both ends.
Hill again. Indefensible right now, or undefensible. They can't stop him, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm the guy that's supposed to screw up the words.
Yeah, every once in a while.
You're the wordsmith, but he has not been stopped. And the reason is, Dave, he's just going hard on everybody. Oh, and give him credit. Give Casey Hill credit. He got benched. Joseph was starting ahead of him. He didn't sulk. He just kept playing. And now it's paying off. He's been fantastic, Casey Hill.
Both he and Chioza are out there right now. And Chioza comes up with a steal. Awkward possession for the Buckeyes. The advantage. Hill and stripped, but a foul on Harris. He can't believe it. So we are in the Monmouth bracket, and Monmouth is the top seed. Will be hosting George Washington tomorrow night on ESPN, and the winner of that will take on Monmouth. The winner of our game takes on Monmouth. If it's Florida, they're not playing at home. The O'Connell Center is undergoing a massive renovation. Won't even be ready until the start of SEC play. So the Gators will be all over the place when they start their non-conference schedule next season. However, if Monmouth wins, it doesn't matter who wins this game. That game will be at Monmouth. That was just the second free throw the Gators have taken, and they have missed them both. Mike White, take a look at there. He's had some NIT experience in Louisiana Tech. He had some very entertaining teams at La Tech in his first year with the Gators.
It's about the only bad thing Casey Hill's done today, missed a couple free throws.
The Gators are 0 for 3 from the line. At the moment, that's not a big factor in this game. Tough shot. And a whistle and a foul on the Gators. And Devin Robinson will be hit with that. That will be his third. So he is the first Florida player in foul trouble.
It's not like a shot fake. Shot fake gets you, and then on the recovery, a little touch, but you got to protect the shooter. So guy goes up for a shot. He's vulnerable. You touch him, it's a foul.
Dorian Finney-Smith will check back in for Florida as Robinson and Hill have already made their way over the bench. So Casey Hill will go out, and Kayvon Allen will come in at the floor. There's Finney-Smith. Williams now with 8. It's right around his average for the year.
You mentioned Mike White, the coach of Florida. I think he's the perfect guy to follow Billy Donovan. I asked him a few weeks ago about, following the legend. He's like, hey, look, anytime you go to a big-time program, you're going to follow somebody who's pretty good, particularly one that's won a couple national championships. You can't shy away from it. You got to embrace the opportunity. I think Florida's in really good hands.
Chioza, that's a difficult shot, but the rebound, Leon, he's done it again, but he can't make it to go. Thompson almost had it stolen, but Chioza will be hit with a foul. Well, what White has done, he's only the second first-year head coach in Florida history to reach 20 wins, and that wasn't Billy Donovan. You got to go back to the 60s and Tommy Bartlett, and only John Calipari and Andy Kennedy have started out with 20 wins in the SEC.
Yeah, and you mentioned his style. You see the fast pace. I mean, he wants to get up and down the floor. He's got to obviously get some players in here, get some different guys, more guys actually. But you know what? His style is so good. The way he handles himself is so good. I was watching practice. People really liked it. The kids really paid attention to him.
And Lyle draws a foul. Even though Leon is the one holding his jaw after all that contact.
Yeah, people say, well, what are you talking about? Players pay attention to him. Hey, let me tell you, there's a lot of teams right now across the country that aren't paying attention to their coach, but this guy has a personality, the it factor, to be fantastic in this league.
Second foul on Leon. Going to the line with 13 points is Lyle, only a freshman from Evansville, Indiana. But a nice double-double, 18-14 against Akron.
He can really play. You know, he's just got to figure out that, hey, you know, Leon went for the ball on the backboard on the other end, and Lyle was at half court. He didn't block out. You've got to figure out, should have it figured out by this time of year, but you've got to figure out those type of things to become a truly great player and one that wins.
Now a trap. Gators handle it very expertly, though. Chioza cross-court hit. Finney Smith passed up to three, but Leon didn't. Finney Smith gets the assist.
Yeah, Finney Smith just went right around the defense.
Oh, and it was a steal by Chioza. Oh, that's just terrible passing by Ohio State. They have given the Gators an open three, and they don't. Hey, oh, that's making them pay. Leon.
What a great effort by Florida. You got one guy up there, and he's the smallest guy, Chioza. He steals it. You miss a three, and Leon just goes right up and dunks it.
If you just sat down and flipped this game on, you just saw that our whole day in a microcosm right there. Harris, no good for three, and Leon with another rebound. Boy, has he been fantastic off the bench.
Yeah, he got hit early. Remember, he got hit in the head, looked a little wobbly.
Chioza dribbling in traffic. Jump pass, always risky, and Ohio State steals. Williams on the run. To the middle. Ooh, past Finney Smith, and it missed. Thompson fighting for the rebound, but Florida gets the loose ball. Leon, did he walk? No, he was fouled. I think that's going to be a reach-in on Cam Williams.
Hey, it's Kings of Leon all afternoon. We had a Run DMC reference. Here you go. Here's a little three for you with nobody even on his side of the court. And then, of course, there's not going to be a block out here. And when you don't block out, King of Leon, he's going to dunk it on the whole building.
Well, there's our score and time. It's been Florida since we tipped off. At noon Eastern time, they have led the entire way. We have 10:38 to go here. The night after the NCAA Tourney Women's second round matchup. Don't miss Sports Center at night with Scott Van Pelt. SVP will wrap it up. The highlights from the NCAA tournament games, men's and women's, the NHL, the NBA, spring training, and what's been going on in day one of the NFL League meetings in Boca. Sports Center the night after women's championship game, right here on ESPN and streaming live, of course, on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app as we are here. And Justin Leon off the bench has been the man of the match for the Gators.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, the guard play was the first thing that Florida did outplaying Ohio State, and now it becomes a forward, and Leon has had his way with the Ohio State defense.
Finney Smith had it stripped, got it back. And even those little things, little bounces on it, have definitely gone the Gators' way.
Hey, look, the basketball gods will reward hard play.
Finney Smith into traffic, and we have foul on the floor against, I believe, that'll be on Lyle, so I thought that'll be two on him.
Yeah, again, the ball was allowed to get into the middle of the floor, and Ohio State, instead of being there and help, has been reaching all day, and you reach, you foul. We had a great angle. Look at this.
Yeah. Execution is perfect by the Gators. It's the second time they've scored off an inbounds play, and it's an and one for Finney Smith.
This is just a simple screen in the middle of the court and a slip. This is as fundamental and easy. He's going to go up here. Then Finney Smith is going to slip it. You'll see. Just simple, easy. Screen, no communication, three-point play. You know a team is ready by how loud they are, Dave. Quiet teams get beat. Quiet teams don't play hard. Quiet teams are just no good to coach either. And Ohio State's very quiet. You saw there, didn't talk to each other.
Lyle missing the three. Tapped back by Giddens. Ohio State will try again. This is the largest deficit they have had to deal with today. We're under 10 minutes. Williams will try again. No good. Giddens gets the rebound. And he'll score off the effort by the freshman.
Giddens has given more effort than anybody on Ohio State. He's got 3 blocks. You saw right there, willing rebounder.
Finney Smith left open. And Lyle will tap it over to Williams, who controls the rebound. The Buckeyes are going to try to run. Harris wants the ball. Meantime, a whistle and a foul, and that looks like it'll be on Leon for the Gators, and it is. It'll be his third.
It's a good foul to stop what was going to be a wide open 3, but it's not a great foul because Leon has now 3 fouls, you know, and the NBA game, usually filters to college basketball, but you know, the NBA will foul you in transition, not let you get. That really hasn't happened in NCAA basketball. So now Ohio State has to take it out as opposed to get a wide open 3 left wing. But it didn't matter.
Loving knocks down the 3. Florida goes to the bench. They bring Skylar Rimmer in, number 32. And the fans here sensing maybe a last stand for the Buckeyes. So they're starting to make a little bit of noise anyway. Give it go. Finney Smith, too easy.
Yeah, Loving looked right at the ball, and Finney Smith did not. Finney Smith just back cut it again. Dave, where did the basketball go? Middle of the floor. You can be a good defensive team and have bad defensive players if you just teach them not to let the ball get in the middle of the court.
And there's no call. No, and I like that no call.
I did too.
And Hill missed an opportunity underneath. Rare miss for him, and a foul in the backcourt. I'm so happy you agree with me on that, because that's talking about the NBA. And the NBA were marching in line. But here, the officials didn't bite when the offensive player created the contact.
Yeah, because a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't think the defensive player went into the offensive man. I think the offensive man went into the defender, and the defender had come down already. I'm with you, Dave. I thought that was a terrific no call.
Now, Thad Matta thinks we're both dead wrong, and he thinks the official is wrong.
Well, he's biased. We're not.
Yes, he is.
You know what I mean?
Ohio State had great success in their NIT opener, 21 of 23 against Akron. This debate continuing. Thad Matta's not going to win it, but by God, he's going to get every word in he can.
And what he's doing is he's setting up the next call.
Yep, he's smart. 9 for 9, by the way, the Buckeyes from the line.
I got to give the crowd here credit. I mean, they have not been given much to cheer about, but they are trying like crazy.
Oh, Giddens thought he had a block. Everybody here thought he had the block except the officials. And Thad Matta definitely prejudiced about that call. Take a look.
I love Giddens' effort here. But Giddens has given great effort all day. Blow by on Lyle, and here comes Giddens. You know, it's one of those where I think the referee anticipated contact, and I got to give it to Giddens. I think he just went up, put 2 hands on the basketball.
You talk about bad news when Leon had to go to the bench for Florida. That's 4 fouls on Giddens. Now, he's still out there. In the discussion, Thad Matta, one of his assistants, will we leave him out there? 8:09 to go.
Jake Diebler, his assistant brother of John, who was one of the great all-time shooters and one of the great all-time players at Ohio State. I think he just told him, look, Giddens has 4, but I was leaving him out there. He's giving great energy.
He wants the ball right now. Hayes with 2 free throws. He's 4 for 4 at the line for Florida. Drive open. Oh my! Yes, Harris! He's 5'9". Timeout, Florida. Even they want to watch the replays of this.
He's 5'9", and he dunked on the entire state of Florida right here. Wow.
Hashtag that Sports Center top 10.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the NIT is brought to you by the all-new Audi A4.
The harsh reality is Ohio State is down by 11, and we're under 8 minutes to go. But the fun part is this Sports Center top 10 highlight of A.J. Harris with a stopper. Let us remind you that he is listed at 5'9".
Little Nate Robinson right there.
Man, somewhere Spud Webb jumped off his couch and applauded. Now, we talked about, Dan made this point earlier, it's about want to in a lot of ways in these NIT games. Ohio State students on spring break, lonely campus. How badly do you want to play this? Finney Smith for 3, back iron. And Florida showing that extra hustle. Out of bounds. It belongs to the Gators.
This is going to come down to whether Florida can make open shots. I mean, we talked about it, Dave.
Which they aren't always good at.
No, they were great against North Florida, 16-32, but we said at the top of the show, water finds its level. People progress to the mean, whatever smart people say. I don't know. I just say water finds its level. 4 for 16 right now, and they've had some really good looks. 4 for 16 from the three-point line.
Yeah, 12 of 21 in this half, but only 1 of 4 in this half. 1 of 5 now from 3.
They're going to get good looks, them being Florida, if Ohio State continues to let the ball get into the middle of the floor. It's just a matter of whether you're going to make them on the road.
I was going to say, why bother shooting a 3? You've owned the lane. That guy right there, particularly with the ball, Casey Hill, is on the lane. Allen. We really want to shoot that. There's the extra effort for Florida that's defined their game today, and Robinson with a big putback.
Throw it on the glass. The wings for Ohio State are not blocking out, and then just go get it. That's as good offense as you're going to have today.
Will weave. Just a momentary lapse of concentration. Kick out to Harris. 3-ball from Loving is no good. Rebound Williams. He'll step into a 3. Chipping the paint again.
Hey, I mean, again, ball got into the lane, found the wide open shooters just to make or miss game most times.
He'll have it knocked loose to the floor. Go 2 players. And the ball belongs to the Buckeyes.
Hey, look, if you're Ohio State, I think you do the same thing you just did. You get a high ball screen. You allow A.J. Harris to create in the middle of the lane. You've got 2-3 good shooters out there between Lyle, Loving, and Cam Williams. That's your best bet because you don't have anything to go on the block with. Just keep a high ball screen, spread it, attack.
Well, Cam Williams is uncharacteristically cold from 3. He is 0 for 3 today. He's a 46% three-point shooter. He's 0 for 4 from 3. Back out of bounds, 18 to shoot for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, a little baseline action. It's been working. Florida keeps going over the top of the baseline screen, which is a no-no. You got to chase the baseline. Loving had an opportunity, but good defense by Florida on the backside.
Williams passing up the 3, goes into traffic. Lyle left open for a moment. Just not falling for Ohio State in this half.
You're going to get him, and nobody got back again.
And Chiozza and Hill, so you got 2 point guards out there for Mike White's Gators. Under 6 in this one. And Chiozza being pestered by Harris. Chiozza pulls up. And Lyle trying to clear the rebound. He got belted, but no call. And it's Ohio State's ball anyway. Tough shot. Blocking. Foul on the Gators. Ohio State will go to the line with 5:32 to go.
I thought that was a charge. But anytime you slide by, Hayes was there. He was outside the line. But anytime you slide by, referees give you the benefit of the doubt as the offensive player. Hayes was there for a while, but not quite square.
His second foul. To the line will go Mark Loving, a junior from Toledo. His first free throw of the day. So we're in the Monmouth bracket. Remind you of what's going on here. The winner of this will play the winner of Monmouth George Washington. You'll see that game tomorrow night at 7 Eastern on ESPN. If Monmouth wins, they'll host, regardless of who wins this game. If GW wins, then they will host Florida if Florida wins, or they will come here to Value City Arena. Florida, the O'Connell Center under a massive renovation project. So Kevon Allen comes in. Justin Leon checks out for Florida. Also out of the game is Robinson. So Dorian Finney-Smith back in.
I like this by Mike White. Mike White has his 2 point guards in. He knows that Ohio State's going to come out pressure. You've got Hayes out there. You've got Williams. They're 2 quickest guys. So he puts in the point guard. Shouldn't be a trouble. Should not be any trouble with this press.
Finney-Smith clears it easily, and Florida attacks it. And doesn't get the break, the extra effort on the rebound, and we're going to have a whistle and a foul.
Man, bad luck for Florida. What great hustle for Florida. Florida had the layup. They went right through the press. Had a ball here halfway down by Casey Hill. And then again, Ohio State kind of standing around.
You see Loving with the grab on the rebounder, so he's hit with a foul. And Dorian Finney-Smith with the line.
And we had two other guys, Williams and Lyle, standing out here in front of us.
One missed.
Hey, Florida's giving Ohio State every opportunity here.
Yep, Ohio State's missed some open shots. Harris behind the back to get it. Oh! And he'll get a chance to make it the old-fashioned way.
I'm telling you, the basketball gods reward hard play. A.J. Harris has been playing really hard. And when you go hard, sometimes you make the spectacular. There's two spectacular plays here by Harris.
This is going to be, he's going to get 2/10 of the SportsCenter top 10 at this rate.
The way I view that, that's 20%.
Correct. So you did go to class on the year. I knew you did.
Math guy.
Well, I knew that all along.
Right now, if you're Florida, you got to just keep doing what you're doing, but you've got to attack. You got away with the travel right there, but you've got to attack. You cannot just settle, get the ball into the middle, take advantage of Lyle, and play out of it.
Shoot. Finney-Smith thought about the three. 5 to shoot. Chioza. Long three. Lyle gets the rebound. Harris with a big crossover into traffic. Missed. The whistle. That basket doesn't count. They're waving that tip back. And Harris a little bit shaken up.
Well, you want to take away the left hand, and you see Harris is down. You want to take away his left hand, but he put the big-time crossover on Finney-Smith. He came down hard on the right shoulder.
Finney-Smith hit with his third foul. Harris is going to try to shake it up.
Harris is kind of dominating the game for Ohio State. I guarantee you he's not coming out. This is his dream right here.
Right, and Thad Matta's not going to take him out either.
No.
He knows. Don't be fooled by that 1 for 6 from the field. Harris has had a significant impact. Just his one field goal alone had significant impact.
Well, he's played harder than anybody else. He and Giddens have been really good in terms of playing hard and matching what Florida has brought to this game.
He hits his 2 free throws, 4 points for the freshman. And a little bit of token pressure here by the Buckeyes again. A little bit more than token. Chioza cleverly breaks it. Open 3 with 3 on the shot clock. Casey Hill.
Chioza, middle ball screen. Cam Williams came off of Casey Hill to help on the rolling big man. Didn't get it back out. Big shot.
15 for Hill. Like I said, everybody back down. They were on their feet. Into traffic. Offensive rebound taken away by Finney-Smith. They marked that three-pointer down as one of the biggest shots, if not the biggest in the game.
They're putting Ohio State in such a trick bag because Ohio State has not been able to handle this middle ball screen right here.
Allen chipped it, tapped out. Williams, Ohio State on the run with Harris. Loving, stripped, tapped. Florida gets it. Chioza. He's got handled, Chioza.
Big time, and that's a smart move again by Mike White, putting the 2 point guards in. You have a quickness advantage. You're going to spread the court here a little bit, play down the shot clock.
Hayes setting the screen. Hill's going to go the other way with it. All the way, one end to the other. 6 to shoot. Oh, look at this execution. And Florida fumbles the pass. 2 to shoot. 1. That's a shot clock violation. Hit nothing.
A little bit of in-middle screen, and where do you help from if you don't handle it on top? You see the man right there. Cam Williams goes in. Can't get back out. Casey Hill rips it for 3.
There is our score in time. Gators up by 10, just under 3 to go. Both teams cool right now. 2 of 10 for Florida. Ohio State 2 of their last 8.
You know what? A lot of balance. Dorian Finney-Smith with 9, Hayes with 14. Leon has been terrific off the bench. He's got not only 12 points, but he has 5 offensive rebounds, and this guy has been the guy, Casey Hill. He has 15 points, got 4 turnovers with 5 assists, but he's just played hard. He has set the pace of this game for Florida and taking it right to Ohio State.
And a key, Ferris Hayes, career high 14. Starting in place of John Igbuna, who's out for a while for the Gators, 4 to 6 months, as he recovers from hand surgery that was performed earlier this week. So Mike White wondering if Hayes could get it done, or we'd have to turn to Skylar Rimmer, who's also seen some playing time, and Hayes has been fantastic.
Yeah, he has. He's been terrific. He's been in the right spot, and again, the pace and the penetration by the guards of Florida have led the way. Man, they're getting good looks at Ohio State.
Williams just can't make from 3 for a change. That's really unusual, as Giddens kept it alive, and his tap back in, Ohio State trails by 8, but there's 2.5 to go. But there's Giddens again. We talked about him and the effort, kept that alive for a teammate to score it.
No question, he and A.J. Harris have kept Ohio State around.
And they're being rewarded with playing time. But this guy here has been in control of the game, Casey Hill. Finney Smith, nice shot fake, cleared some space for himself. Rebound, Finney Smith, and underneath, Hayes kept it alive.
Yeah, again, run out by some Ohio State players. Finney Smith, after the shot fake, just went and chased the ball down.
And Harris with a foul.
I'm looking at Thad Matta, and I'm not sure that Thad Matta is going to be all that upset that this season may be coming to an end. This is a frustrating team for him to coach. Really, too young, no seniors, really no adult out there as a leader, and Florida's exposing it to him.
And the struggles from the foul line for most of the Gators continues. And that foul is going to go against the Florida Gators. The 2016 NCAA Women's Basketball Championship coverage continues. We invite you to check out more information about the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship. Just log on to ncaa.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships, and just up the road, and I do mean that, at St. John's Arena, Ohio State's team, women's team ahead of West Virginia in the 4th.
Man, my partner on Tuesdays, Mike Tirico, follows women's basketball really closely. His wife was a really good player at Syracuse, and he loves the quarter system. Reset the fouls. Just thinks it's a much crisper, cleaner game that the women have put in college basketball.
And the officials have gone to the monitor.
Yeah, we must go to the monitor. It is an NCAA game.
Carl Hess wants to see who the proper shooter is going to be. And that didn't take long, so I like that. It really didn't take long. And the answer is Daniel Giddens is going to be awarded the free throws. Looking at foul trouble for Florida. Robinson, Finney Smith, and Hayes and Leon all with 3. For Ohio State, Giddens, who's hung in there with 4. He's had that 4th foul on his shoulders for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, he's been a key. He's been on the offensive glass, a defensive presence. Got to make these.
No trouble for that. 11 points for Giddens. That went a bit strong. And the extra bounce, Loving had made a sweet move to get around for that, but that second bounce threw off his timing.
It did. He was ready to get it if it didn't hit the rim. Now you just got to play solid defense, get a stop, and go down and score if you're Ohio State. For Florida, you just hang on to it for a while.
Hill almost had it taken away. He goes in among the trees and gets it to Chioza, his co-point guard. Open, Finney Smith, wide open, splash down, Finney Smith.
Chioza went right around Lyle. It shrunk the defense, and Finney Smith, being a veteran, recognized the open spot, and that's a tough one right there. That's tough for Ohio State to come back from that.
12 for Finney Smith. Florida with a very balanced attack. Loving tries to come back, and he gets it. Timeout, Ohio State. 20.
Let Mark Loving that wide open in a 10-point game with under a minute and a half to go. There's just a little screen in, and he was wide open. Yeah, you're going to see right here, look, Loving has the top of the key to himself. Hey, man, just a little screen, little pin down screen, too much help late. To get there is Hayes, and you let the best shooter in the building get a step-up 3 from the sweet spot.
So it gives Ohio State some hope. Down 7 with a minute 15 to go. They have 1 timeout left. Florida has 2. The winner will play either Monmouth or George Washington on Wednesday. And there's a reset foul situation. Possession error for Florida. Bottom line is 68-61. 11-2 Ohio State at home in the NIT, and they actually have a couple of NIT titles, including one with Thad Matta in 2008. Florida has never won the NIT. They've been to the semis 3 times. When do you start hacking here?
You do right now.
Yeah, and they do. Lyle with the foul.
I wanted to see if they were going to try to at least get another trap, but Mike White, we've said it for about the last 6 minutes with the 2 point guards in there. Pressure has been non-existent from Ohio State.
Here's the weird thing about Florida today. They're 4 of 10 from the line, and the only guy who's made them is Hayes.
The backup center.
Yeah, now Chioza's 0 for 1. There you go. Now things are starting to balance out a little bit, make a little bit more sense. He's an 80% free throw shooter, Chioza. Justin Leon comes back in. Allen will check out, so they go for some size and some rebounding. And Chioza cans them both. It's still manageable with 66 seconds and counting to go. Here's Harris will lead him up. Crunching screen by Giddens, and that left it open for the layup. Finney Smith, he got bumped clearly by Loving. And so back to the line will Florida go. 55.6 to go for 2.
You know, we talk about we have the little guys on the court to break the pressures. You're going to see Lyle just beat everybody and go get a layup. But we talk about, all right, Chioza and Hill are on the court together. Dribble quick, get through it. But also passing. That was a really good inbounds pass to Finney Smith here. Ohio State's one of the best in the country. They work on it harder than anybody I've seen at defending inbounds from underneath the basket. And Chioza made a great high pass to Finney Smith. That's why you have 2 point guards in the game.
Finney Smith with his 8th double-double of the season. And 13th for his career. Lyle, that's a tough contested 3. Rebound, Finney Smith. And Florida starting to put the chomp, if I can say that, on this one.
You're going to have to foul if they want the clock stopped. If not, this is over.
And you don't see them reaching. Just a token effort that time by Loving. Florida's going to win this one. Be their 21st win on the year, and they will go to the next round of the NIT to play either Monmouth or George Washington. Foul call here. Stops the clock with 21 to go. Ohio State will finish 21-14.
Carl Hess giving the fan base here ample time to get out of the building.
And they took it, and they're waving at him saying thank you, buddy, as they're on their way out. Well, you're right. Thad Matta's going to sit back later and think, all right, I got all these guys coming back. We'll see what the offseason's going to be like, because there's always something going on in the offseason. It'll drive the coach insane and hit the recruiting trail.
Yeah, Thad Matta has good class coming in, but he's got to get his guys, his main guys, Lyle and Loving, Cam Williams. He's got to get them better. Lyle has to get better. Loving has to get a leadership element to him.
Appropriate that Harris will get the last laugh for Ohio State, perhaps, for this game, as he's been terrific off the bench. A spark plug at a time when Ohio State was climbing back in. But they will leave this game today never having held the lead.
No, it was from Jump Street. It was right from the beginning. You could see that Florida wanted the game more, wanted to be here more, and took Ohio State to the woodshed from the start.
So the Florida Gators leading wire to wire will move on to the NIT third round to play either Monmouth or George Washington. You'll be able to watch that game tomorrow night at 7 on ESPN while Ohio State's season will conclude. So if you're the Florida travel coordinator, you've got 2 plane tickets in your hand, one for DC and one for Monmouth. Not that Monmouth has its own airport, but that's where they're going to be going as the Gators are heading to the road for round 3 of the NIT. A winner here at Value City Arena. From From jump ball to the last shot, Florida led this game all the way and advancing to the third round of the NIT, defeating the Buckeyes in Columbus 74-66. So they've moved into round 3 of the bracket, and they will take on either Monmouth or George Washington. And Florida will do it on the road as the O'Connell Center in Gainesville is under renovation. But that's going to be a good one tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. Monmouth, the top seed in this bracket. We welcome you back to Columbus, and Dan Dockage and I have been joined by Casey Hill of the Florida Gators, who had a very balanced game with 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. And I guess balance really was the approach today, because if you look at all the stats, everybody really contributed.
Yes, sir. Everybody's just been playing freely, and just playing their game and playing confident, and it's been helping us.
Casey, you had 15 and 5 assists, but I looked to me like you were just so comfortable going around Ohio State, either individually or with a high ball screen. Did you feel you could take the ball to the rim where you wanted almost any time?
I was just reading and reacting, just playing my game, and either creating for myself or for one of my teammates, and it just happened to go well for me.
Well, I admire you because, you were starting, then you weren't starting.
Sir.
Didn't seem like you must not assaulted all. Must have just got to work and got your job back.
I mean, I just stayed in the gym. I mean, that's all I could do is just stay in the gym and work on my game. And it's not fun coming off the bench, but I also like doing whatever I have to do to help my teammates and trying to just help the team win.
Igbunu out. All of a sudden, Harris comes in, and he played or Hayes came in, excuse me. He came in, played a tremendous game. Talk about that transition from a bigger, stronger guy to a slimmer guy.
I'm proud of Kavarius Hayes. He stepped up big for us tonight. He gave us great energy. We missed John, but other guys have to step up, and Kavarius did a great job, and he did that tonight.
Yeah, he did.
Well, energy was one of the things we talk about this time of the year when you're in the NIT. Some teams approach it rather blasé, but you guys came out right away with instant energy. What was the approach like in the locker room coming in before tip-off?
I mean, just going out there and competing. I mean, we're playing the game that we love, and if you want to keep playing basketball, you have to compete and play at a high level. If you really love the game, you have to keep trying to play and don't worry about in the NIT or not, and just keep playing games and trying to win.
They came at you a few times, hit a few important three-point shots, but you all kept coming back to the middle of the court. And also you and Cristiozzo also doing a great job of just getting the middle, either scoring or distributing. The middle was wide open today.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it was so wide open, but, I mean, we were just getting there and trying to make plays for the team.
Well, Casey, congratulations on the win. Good luck in round 3.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Casey Hill joining us here courtside. Florida Gators winning in Columbus. They'll go on to play either Monmouth or George Washington, Dan. It'll be an interesting game no matter what happens.
Tell you what, Florida wants to be in this tournament. Florida plays hard, and that kid right there keys it.
Final score for the final time. The Gators win this one by 9. Coming up next, tennis, the BNP Paribas Open at Indian Wells. For Dan Dockage, I'm Dave Lamont. We thank you for watching. Good afternoon from Columbus.